Recently, I was really inspired to do something big. I took apart an old oil painting from college so that I could use the canvas stretchers to stretch this big sheet of watercolor paper over it. I think this is Fabriano Artistico. I basically just soaked the paper for a few minutes in the bathtub and used a staple gun to attach it to this canvas stretcher. I didn't really know exactly what I was doing with the corners, so a couple of them got oversaturated and ripped a little bit. This is only the second time that I've stretched watercolor paper like this, and so I haven't really run into any major problems with this yet. I personally thought that a landscape would be the best use of such a large surface. I didn't really have any ideas though. Eventually I just turned on some Minecraft music. I decided just to doodle my favorite Minecraft biome, just to get an idea of a more creative landscape. And I did a mesa biome, which involved mountains of multicolored sedimentary rock, because it's my favorite one visually, and I thought, well, I'll just doodle this and see where it goes. And I started doodling lily pads that grew kind of like trees. And part of the way through this, I realized, hey, I actually have pictures of a trip to Alberta that my grandparents took me on when I was like 6. And so I pulled those out and I started doing sketches and references from that. At the time, this really blew my mind. It made me think deeper about why I was actually drawing this. Like, is the reason why I just felt like drawing this was because the mesa biome was my favorite biome in Minecraft and I was listening to Minecraft music and that's why I wanted to draw it? Or is the mesa biome my favorite biome because of the subconscious effect left on me from this trip to the Badlands with my grandparents? And I started thinking about how the lily pads are another symbol of being a tiny child, being partially raised by my grandparents. And I had somehow combined these two things together without really deeply thinking about their connotations. And so my intention with this painting completely shifted. My grandparents took me to Alberta to go to the dinosaur museum, and I became so passionate about dinosaurs that was the only thing that I was drawing as a child. So that experience, like how much of that experience itself actually kickstarted my interest in art entirely? Would I even be an artist if that didn't happen? And not too long after that trip, my family kind of fell apart and they didn't want to know me as a person anymore. And it had such a horrible effect on my sense of self-worth, my ability to develop personal relationships with others, my ability to trust other people, my capacity for self-love and appreciation. And so I guess my grandparents had held on to a bunch of items that they intended to give me, because when I turned 18 they decided to send me a box of things that they'd kept, like the photos of this trip that I was using as a reference, and a little dinosaur stone thing. It was it's like a sheet of stone with little dinosaur figurines on it and an amethyst gold wrapped tree thing. And so I also decided to paint amethyst growing bushes in this painting. I wanted this painting to be more like a fantastic landscape, so I thought that would look really cool. And so I love this painting. I really love how it turned out. Taking a chance on these mountain textures, I didn't really know what I was doing. I stuck to a yellow, green, red, violet color scheme. I really love the green gold color that I kept dripping in everywhere because I wanted colors to be reflecting off of the lily pads and the amethyst pieces. And through the archway I decided to do an electrical storm, not just because my grandparents' house was the only place that I ever really got to experience electrical storms. We don't have those in Vancouver. But it also kind of represents standing in this utopia, this landscape that is not real. Looking through the archway is electrical storm that represents like what lies ahead, what comes after this. And it's the kind of thing that happens when, instead of closing myself off to my art, just wanting to make things that look nice or look interesting, or I just want to learn about it in the moment, but also just connecting it deeply and expressing things that actually mean something to me, can make really cool pieces. And yeah, I don't know, you might surprise yourself if you're just more honest with your own artwork.